is on the topic CIO Next Step Needs to Be a Business Role. And for this, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Ashu Kakkar, who is the CIO at ITC Infotech. Giving a brief introduction, Mr. Kakkar is a technology IT professional with over 28 plus years of rich experience in highly competitive and leading organizations in areas around IT core infrastructure, enterprise architecture, data center technologies, applications, and IT service delivery. Apart from that, also the cloud platform strategy, mobility, IT automations, etc. With this, please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
And very good afternoon to and good evening to all. And myself, Ashu Kakkar. Just a brief intro. Right now, I'm working in ITC Infotech as a CIO. And prior to that, I was there in HCL Technologies. And prior to HCL, I was there with the Tata Groups. In my almost 30 years plus career, the three brand and the Indian brand, I'm opportunity to working with these three brands. And having said that, today I'm not going to bore you with any of my decks. I have not prepared my deck, and this presentation was also, it's all my thought process as a practitioner. So I wanted to do a CIO to CIO talk, and some of the attributes which I am applying in my field or my area, which I think it is relevant to remain in the next 3 years journey. And if any questions are there or any suggestions are there, we can have a very open discussions on that, because I don't have a structured PPTs around. To start with that, when we started the era, at least, I have seen all three or four great eras, from mainframe to distributed era, as well as the web and e-business, and now last 2015-16, I am heavily working on digital transformation. And I'm sure, you must have given a accelerated growth on the digital transformation, and every organization have reached to their maturity, and many more things to be doing it. Okay, what next? How we can be more relevant for the next 3 years. This is a topic I have for today. What is the CIO next should be doing it for the next 3 years from here to 2026, and then how we all of us can be more relevant in the business. What I see that, and what I'm applying a template, to my work areas as well. There are three, functional. Before I go there, let's say I'm sure many of us, we will be maturing our journey in a cloud journey to multi-cloud journey from IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, containers and all, and how we are doing integration and leveraging integration over the cloud, because we are leveraging heavily on the COTS applications, low code, no code. So all these reactive way of doing business to the maybe some proactive, and then how we are going to the predictive way of doing business and all. So I apply a very template, which is the functional area, like how do we have in operational area, maybe IT leadership skills, as well as third, what I see that the entrepreneur skills and all. And each functional area will have a definitive goals around, and there will be a competencies around. So there is a very good template on that, which I have co-created with my team, and which I apply day in, day out in my life as well. And it will have a kind of a your all self-assessment template as well. So when you do a scoring, and do a self-assessment on that, and if your score is, let's say, more than 80, then how do we map to the business leaders, to the next business leader, to the operational leader, to the IT managers and all. This is what, and this will all come up that how you are engaged in day in, day out, and how is your heat map in terms of all these areas, because all these areas we have a definitive structured template, and it applies to most of the business area, whether you are working in IT, non-IT, or any other, areas as well. It will be applicable to all areas. And what I see that when I do my scorecarding and score reading for all these three functional areas with a definitive template, we are maybe doing 50% to 60% all the skills which is needed for the support business. All of us, and it could be plus minus views for from the each individual standpoint. Then doing some strategies. Are we involved in the leadership summit where business are taking input from us, from the CIO to take a business, to take a business decisions on that. The moment we move to that template, then we can say that we are contributing not only bottom line. I'm sure we all of us supporting in a bottom line. We'll be supporting indirectly top lines as well as for the business. Okay, that's what the vision I see that we all of us should be creating it. rather than heavily on the more on the technical side. How do we empower team on moving into that direction on, likewise, we, all of us, we will be saying that we are great on the availability, performance, we did the cloud journey, but how we are creating, let's say when I go and, in some of the customers meetings as well, they are not excited about, when you say I have done the cloud, I have moved to O365, I'm doing the SaaSifications and all, they're not a lot of excited about that. How we can build a purpose-built cloud for them. If you are in transportation industry or healthcare, or or maybe some of the other industries and all, how now we can create a purpose-built cloud, which is more suitable to their industry, rather than coming up and asking for, I need to build a cloud, I need to migrate from on-prem to cloud. How can I go and use the template, which is the day one ready for my business, my function? It's an experience-based SLA. It's a different SLAs to be applied. And what I'm seeing that, because I started a career long back, and so in the cloud area, 2011-12, from there I started the maturity. And by the time we reached the era of, post-pandemic and before, pandemic area, all of us, we have a maturity. Now, everyone is working remotely, we have a mobile apps, cloud-first strategies and all. But having said that, all of us, are we thinking about to build a purpose-built cloud for them? It is in the functional area, whether, again I'm saying, whether we operate in a CPG industry or FMCG or transportation, how do we give to them? Let's say in the transportation area, a lot of investments are happening. I was there in one of the McKinsey event as well. The topmost investments for the next 3 to 5 years is going to be in the transportation area. So let's say we are in the IT space, how we are enabling and tapping those investments, which is going in the following, the stack rankings are changing between the investments from the telecommunications and other areas to healthcare to the transportation is the number one. So that's the way I see that, how do we getting aligned where business are taking a valid input from us and it is being included in the decision making strategies. And if someone wants to connect me offline on those templates, I can definitely share it to make more enrichment of the template, which will be more relevant for the future. So this is what I have a view. If any questions or any views are there, I can take more questions and more in the distinct area, because I think that from the technology standpoint, I have gained some maturities, and which I think that now how can we align to the business to create and solving their business problems. That's the way I am charting the journey.